It's that time once again, folks. Welcome to GeoGuessr, where we guess where in Asia are we? That's right, we have to guess which country we're in, with over 50,000 locations in all of these Asian countries. And if you look at this map, wow, that's a pretty big space. That's a lot of countries. I have a sneaky feeling that this might be quite difficult. As you might remember, last time I did the Europe map, which at least I have some knowledge of because I'm from Europe. But Asia, I don't really have much knowledge, so this is pretty much going to be a shot in the dark. Again, we're going to see how high of a score we can get, see if we can get some medals along the way, and also, as before, this is a no-move map, meaning that wherever I get placed is where I have to guess. Okay, we have landed in our first location in Asia, and we seem to be in a giant puddle of blurriness. I don't know what this is, but it's obscuring half my vision, so it's making it even more difficult than it already needs to be. Anywho, we seem to be in the middle of nowhere. Again, just based off vibes, I'm thinking somewhere warm, so maybe like Thailand, Indonesia, something like that. Again, what's good about these maps is that there's no timer, meaning that I can take my sweet time looking at trees to try and figure out where in the world I am. No signage, no people, no nothing. So, first round might be a bit of a dud. Might just have to make a guess here and, well, let's see how we get on. Okay, so if you look at this, the Asian continent's pretty big. There's a lot of places to pick from, so this might be a difficult one, folks. You know what? Cambodia sounds like a good shout. And we were nowhere near. We were actually in Sri Lanka, of all places. 710 points. And that's because we were 2,483 kilometers away. So, yeah, not a great first start. Ooh, okay, yes. We are in population. We've got signage and people and things to look at. This is the Kaushambi Corner Residents Welfare Association. Okay, so English, which makes me think that we're in India. Ooh, Bollywood. We must be in India or somewhere there, which does helpfully narrow down the country, but unfortunately India is a pretty big place. Can't really see anything else that gives me an idea of where in India we might be. Alright, so we were in India. Unfortunately, it was the other side of the country. So, again, we were not great point-wise, but at least the general vibe check passed. Oh yes, I love being placed in the middle of nowhere with absolutely no context clues. I'm thinking Japan. And these vending machines almost backs that up. Because I know for a fact that Japanese love a good vending machine. So, that's where I'm thinking we are. So these little box cars makes me think that we are in Japan, and the fact that we've got all this type of architecture really backs that up. So I'm fairly sure we're in Japan. I just don't know where in Japan we are. Oh yes, and there's also writing here too, so that's good also. Alright, so maybe it's best we just look at a map and just see where we think it might be. I'm thinking down here. Chiba, it was Chiba. 508 kilometers away, pretty good score still, so I think if we can just gather that much information and find that it is Japan, we're halfway there already. Okay, next Asian country. Unfortunately, this truck does not have any domain names, so that's not going to help us there. But again, it seems quite a warm country in my opinion. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this like a head office or a big factory? Must be. Now, where are they based? Some countries like China, I know, might have a lot of industrial plants like this, but I also know for a fact that there isn't a lot of China on GeoGuessr. So, yeah, I can see this right next to Alibaba Group, but I just can't tell what it is. What does it mean? Where are we? I'm thinking the same sort of area where my first guess was going to be. Maybe near Thailand? I'm not going to lie, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Especially when you're in a place like this where there's not really anything to base your guess off. Oh, wait a minute. Are we in Japan again? I know they like their fruits, and also I'm fairly sure this is Japanese. So maybe we're in Japan again. This is what you're driving me to, GeoGuessr. You put me in the middle of nowhere, I'm just going to have to make a wild guess. And I'm thinking Japan. Near Tokyo, why not? Oh, that's bad. I thought, I could have sworn it was Japanese language on there. But apparently, we were in Taiwan, which is Chinese. Okay, and with those 5 rounds, we were 7,927 points, out of a total of 25,000, which gives us a new best score, but for the Asian countries round, it's our only score. So let's play again and see if we can beat it. There's another doggo! Oh, look how smiley he looks. Aww. As you can tell, I have a soft spot for dogs. Because I am one. Anywho, let's see if this signage gives us anything. Ah, Sri Lanka Telecom. Well, I think that helps. So we're in Sri Lanka. But is there anything else that gives us any information? Velane. Is that the place? Is that where we are? It must be like a town or a district or something. Maybe if I could figure out where Velane is on a map, that might help me figure this out and see if we can actually get a perfect guess. That would be a first. Now, Sri Lanka isn't a massive place, so I might be able to figure this out. Again, I'm just going to need a little bit of time to scour this country and see if I can find Velane of all places. So, I've been looking around for a little bit and I cannot find anywhere like this, so I might be just wasting my time here because if I want a decent score, provided I get the country right here, I'm probably in with a good shout here of getting a decent score, so let's just bog it down and hope for the best. Okay, so we were still fairly far away. It was the northern tip of Sri Lanka, but because we got the country right, we still managed to get 4,028 points, which is certainly a very good start. Thank you, Sri Lanka. We are on round 2. We got these nice colourful buildings. It seems like a very tropical location. I don't know what these colours could represent. I was thinking a flag, but I don't know what flag that could possibly be. It's definitely giving me Asian vibes, but Asia's a big place, so that doesn't really narrow it down. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm still looking, and there's not an awful lot that's really giving me anything here. It might just have to be another one of those guessing rounds, which we're all used to over here on the Atlas Quest channel. Because guessing is our favourite thing to do, even when we've got no clues. Yeah, that wasn't fantastic. We were almost 2,000 kilometres away. Alright, let's just swiftly move on to the next round. And we've got this giant blurry building in front of me, which is quite ominous. I wonder what that's meant to be. So yeah, it seems like another residential street. With these rounds, I know that whenever I get a bad score, the way and the mantra to go is mind of a goldfish. Mind of a goldfish. As soon as I get a bad score, move on to the next one and just carry on. Whoa, okay. That was a pretty good Malaysia guess. We were only 207 kilometers away and with a nice 4,249 points. Put that in the bag. What can we see around us? A language I don't understand. Oh, I do understand this language though. Massage, sauna, fitness center room. Okay. Not really giving me an idea of where we are, but I can certainly say that for a fact that this map is a lot harder than the Europe one. So again, I'm just going to guess in Malaysia. It wasn't Malaysia, it was Laos of all places. Laos wouldn't have been my first guess, not gonna lie. I think it's just whenever I think of that area of the world, I always think of Malaysia and Vietnam and Thailand. Just seems, I don't know. Would never have just guessed Laos. Okay, so we've got a score of just over 11,000. So let's see if we can get a nice score in this last round and see if we can get over that 15,000 mark for a silver medal. And thankfully, I think we're in Japan again. Given these nice boxy cars and, ooh, look at this nice foliage and these houses. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Japan again. So again, it seems quite rural, so I'm guessing... So it seems pretty rural, so I'm just going to plonk it down and guess here. And with that, a pretty good guess. An extra 3,984 points. Hopefully that's enough for what we need. Ooh, 15,150. That is just over the threshold. And we, ladies and gentlemen, have ourselves a second silver medal. That means we're semi-competent in trying to figure out where we are in Asia. And, well, on the last one I did 3 games, so I may as well do a 3rd game just to wrap it up. Let's see if we can beat our last score. This is incredibly interesting, this one. Where are we? Well, what is this? This does make me think China, but I know, like I said earlier, China doesn't have a lot of coverage, so maybe it's not. There's all these signs, I don't know what they say, I don't know what language it is. It's just not really helping me. Maybe I just need to make this a bit of a speed round and just get on with it. It was in Thailand again. Well, I thought I'd try something a bit different and it came back and bit me in the ass. Like most things in life. Alright, let's see if we can blast through these. Round 2 of 5. We are in our next map. And again, we seem quite in the sticks. A doggo. Yeah, everybody likes doggos. There's loads of dogs. There's so many dogs. There's puppies! There's so many little puppies around. Oh my god. Best GeoGuessr map of all time. Puppies and dogs. I know this is not helping me in the slightest about where we actually are, but I don't really care because this is epic. So, where do all the dogs live? Well, it's certainly not Cambodia. It seems to be Thailand again, of all places, which it seems that most places are either Japan or Thailand, so maybe that's just where all the coverage is? I don't know. And speaking of Japan, we seem to be in Japan again. I mean, if that language isn't Japan, I don't know what is. The other thing that made me know that we're in Japan is this 7-Eleven, which I know is very popular in Japan. I've never been, but I just know that from just knowledge, I guess. They love a good 7-Eleven. Unfortunately, I can't read Japanese, so none of this is really giving me any useful information. Maybe if I find any of these places on a map, then it might at least put me in the general direction. Which would be better than just randomly guessing again. I actually want to get some decent points here. Oh, what a guess. 28 kilometers away, and I just clicked anywhere in the country. And that, not only being incredibly lucky, but we snagged a nice 4,891 points. By complete accident. My initial thoughts again were Japan, but actually looking at this further, I don't think it is. I forget that Asia's such a big place that there must be other places apart from Japan and Thailand. So let's guess in Thailand again. It was the Philippines, of course it was. I really need to do some more learning to actually try and pick up some things that will help me distinguish these countries apart. That might take a bit of time, but hopefully once I'm down with it, I'll become a bit of a better GeoGuessr player. So we'll come back to this type of thing in the future and see if I can do any better. Okay, and the last and final round is here, which looks like a mosque of some sort. Hello? Can anyone tell me where I am? Maybe Kyrgyzstan? I don't know, we've not tried that yet, so let's give it a go and just plonk ourselves there. Well, it wasn't Kyrgyzstan, it was Turkey. I forget that Turkey is technically in... Is Turkey in Asia? I thought it was more European. Well, apparently not. Apparently it's in the Asian GeoGuessr game, and that's probably why I didn't think about it, because I didn't think it was going to be in this game. Well, with that abysmal last game, it got us to 10,715 points, which is nowhere near our last score, but that doesn't matter, because we already have the silver medal. which was the whole point of the video. So there we are. Like I said, next time I'll probably come back to this and see if I can beat my score, but that's going to be after we've learned a bit more about Asia in general. So yes, we're going to leave it there for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments which continent you want me to do next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.